Yo, what's up everybody? Good evening, good evening. Vicente was just watching Minions. It looks like he's about to start laying down. Now that I'm on the camera, I believe he's gonna get up and interact with us. But some exciting news! Vicente has officially began his journey that was very, very quick with the time that I actually invested to be potty trained. Dun, da, da, da. So everyone could say exactly how they did it, like some of the videos or some of the feedback that I got from my brother, my cousin, everybody else, where it was the positive reinforcement of using some kind of candy or using just actual positive reinforcement. And I decided to just invest my actual time, just use my words and just really explain to them the difference between pee-pee, poo-poo, using the toilet, flushing the toilet after you're done, washing your hands after you're done, how to use a step stool, how to use the little seat cover for the toilet seat to be his size, explaining to him all of that. And yeah, maybe he probably understood like 20% of it. I wouldn't say 20% of it. Maybe he understood about 40 to 40, in between 40 and 60%. Obviously, it's only been 2 days since I've actually invested time, whereas before it's probably been about 3 to 4 weeks, maybe a month, where I said that I was actually potty training him, but I never spent time like I did the past 2 days, where it was like every half hour I put him on the toilet for like 15 to 20 minutes. I'd leave him on the toilet, talk to him about pee pee, poo poo, show him YouTube videos of learning of what it was, and then having him flush the toilet. So just role playing, and then kind of going through the scenarios. So this might actually work for a parent that's struggling to find the time. Just really investing the time when you know that your child is well aware of the differences between good and bad, pee pee and poo poo, wetting their diaper, all of those things that you are able to explain to them. Because I felt like Vicente was past ready, and I felt like since I'm a co-parent, it's been much more difficult for me to find success, because when he gets to her house and she tells me like he has a pull-up on, like obviously like we've been talking about the fact that I'm potty training him, but if she's not investing the time, I'm only getting set back because Vicente gets lazy and just decides to use his old method of peeing in his diaper, pooping in his diaper. He knows he's gonna get cleaned up. Whereas with the pull-up, he's feeling it more. He doesn't probably like the feeling. It's thinner, so he's wetting himself. It's gonna go right through. The poop's gonna seep right into his legs. He hates it. So what I've done is apply what I've gathered from everybody. So taking the feedback, gathered, researched, and retained all the information that I could from YouTube. Positive stuff, not stuff like where the kid's on the toilet using the doll, because to me the doll is only gonna work if you are gonna use a doll to reinforce the action. Whereas I decided to just use myself, him, and one-on-one time, really explaining to him, because I feel like the knowledge that I'm trying to give to him will be more further retained than just using the doll. Because I feel like what'll happen with the doll, and you might not feel like this, or maybe you will. Just a second, wipe my face off a little bit. So you might feel like he will be able to, or she will be able to retain using a doll, but what I feel like is the same that I feel like for myself. Implementing, learning, researching, and then just oh, I said that backwards. Learning, researching, implementing, and seeing what happens, because you're gonna learn from that feedback, right? So of course he had an accident right away. Like, I wouldn't say right away, but on his first pull-up, like he went to the restroom, I was like, yeah, it was a little pebble-sized poop. I sent a picture to my mom. I tried to call his mom, like just to get some people to like reinforce the positivity behind using the restroom. And then I had a pull-up on him. He didn't have to go to the restroom. He took a nap, woke up, like we were hanging out. All of a sudden, like, he wet himself, right? And I don't mean like his entire self. Luckily, I was asking him so frequently and putting him on the toilet, peed the pull-up a little bit, and I called him out on it. I was like, oh, you peed in the, I was like, you pee-peed in the, I think I still called it a diaper, because I know he refers to it as a diaper. I was like, you pee-peed in your diaper. I was like, no, you don't want to do that. I was like, where are you supposed to pee-pee? Remember, we talked about it. You need to pee-pee in the toilet. Pee-pee in the toilet. Even though he struggles to say it, or right now he's just a little overwhelmed with the camera. Embarrassed, maybe, I don't know. I kind of get weird sometimes. But I think the important part of what it is that I'm trying to explain, obviously, if you said that are getting ready to go to bed, the important part of what I'm trying to explain is that every single parent's gonna have a different experience potty training their son or daughter. Again, you could be watching YouTube videos, you could be getting feedback from people, you could be listening to every single person in the world. But if your child is in two different households and both households are doing two different things, it's the same experience that we talk about all the time, where you have one household that is this far advanced compared to the household that's still treating them like a baby or her like a baby. You're gonna have struggles, you're gonna have complications when it comes to the reinforcement, you're gonna have complications when it comes to really getting them to buy in and believe that they can do it. And I felt like that was the struggle for the past month, to the point where I decided that it was my fault. Definitely never gonna be their fault. It is absolutely never their fault. It is the investment that you put forth that you will see in return. It's the same when you go to college, it's the same when you go to school, it's the same when you're at work, it's the same when you build your car, it's the same no matter what. The investment that you put forth will be the return that you get. And it's not always going to be the same when it comes to people, because people have the opportunity to decide that that's not what they want. But when it comes to anything that's of that nature that we listed, where it's only about you and your kids, you have the opportunity to really make an impact. So I decided to invest that much time, so much time, and to the point that today my mom sent me a text message and said, your son just went pee-pee on his own. That's us getting knuckles, because you know that you're proud of your boy. Either way, whether I'm a year behind or I'm a year ahead, it doesn't matter. Every kid is different. You cannot take the feedback of one and use it towards yours. All you can do is use the experiences to gain insight to whatever it is that your child or you are doing with your life, and then investing the time that you need to as a parent. Both parents, if they're not together, both parents have to be on the same page and at least try, because the trying and the trial and error and the fun that you're going to experience with your child is going to be the same, and the same lesson that they're going to learn in the long term, for school, again, for driving, for anything in life, for work, for failure. And it's important that your child knows that it's okay to fail. You just keep trying, and that's the point that I have to end on tonight, because that's the exact thing that I was seeing happen every day. And it wasn't his fault, it was my fault, and it was me not investing time into that actual part of his life, and he deserved it. So as I close out the video, it's just really important that you remember those things. You have to first invest the time. Invest the time before you can say whether or not it's working. You have to put forth every single day, every single minute, even if that means every 30 minutes you sit your child on the toilet, until the point where they understand that, till they understand that the purpose of sitting on the toilet is for them to use the restroom, and that's it. Then they get off, they flush the toilet even if they don't use it. That's exactly what I was doing, running him through the motions, and then having him wash his hands. All of that needs to be repetitive, so that he knows every time he sits on the toilet, he needs to then flush the toilet and wash his hands, because he's gone pee-pee and poo-poo. And I think that, so first, that investment, that time that you are spending, that's going to give you the return value. Secondly, I mean, just thinking about all the things that we talked about, you have to do your research. I mean, if you invest the time, you invest your time, you do your research, and you get experience or other knowledge, counsel from people that have been there before, and you retain all of that information and use it to your benefit, I promise you, the end result will be success. It'll be success whether you believe it to be a week or 2 weeks or a month. It's every kid is different. It's not for you to say that your child is not supposed to learn how to be potty trained in a month. That's nobody's business but yours. Yes, my son decided that after the 2 days that I spent that he is potty trained, boom, of course he's gonna have accidents. It doesn't mean that he's not potty trained. the consistency that he's gonna gain from the experience of being wet and not wanting to be wet will make him grow up to the point where he could be in school, right? That's 100% potty trained, never gonna wet himself again. He's gonna have accidents every now and then where he falls asleep. He just drank too much water at night. There's gonna be things that happen, right? But my son understands how to use the toilet now, what the purpose of the toilet is, and that he needs to use the toilet before he soils himself. That is potty training. That is what I got in return for the time that I spent not vlogging, because I went from 7 vlogs saved on my computer to now just 3. I'm telling you guys, I'm excited. I promise you though, if you do those 3 or 4 things that we talked about in the video, I promise you, you will see the face that you see now in front of you while my son lays down waiting for me to go lay with him. Success. Papa, you ready to say goodnight? Have a good night, guys, and I really hope you enjoyed this experience, this video. Make sure to leave a like, a comment, and also make sure to subscribe if you haven't subscribed. These videos and this much fun that I'm having